Hey, how you doing? It's your boy the Gangly Goat, and before the video begins, I just want to say a massive thank you to every single person who's got involved in the series, who's taken time out of their day, precious time out of their day to watch the videos, to comment, to like. All of that love and support has been amazing. I've loved doing it. I've loved you guys getting involved, and I have got two winners. So originally I only planned on doing one, but after the success of the series, I thought, screw it, let's do another one. My mate Teabag Sniper, he basically donated a bond to give away as well. So obviously one of it's coming from me, and one of it's coming from my mate Teabag Sniper. We host a podcast together, so if you like listening to podcasts and random people chatting shit about RuneScape, then head on over to Spotify, look up RuneScapers Anonymous, and come and have a listen. So the two people that have been selected, first of all, we've got Link on YouTube, who has got a RuneScape name of Hero of Time 3. If you could add my main account, Gangly Goat, here on RuneScape, drop me a message on YouTube, whatever, we'll arrange to get the bond over to you. And then the second winner is Gorilla Homie on YouTube, who's got a RuneScape name of Peter Quag Joe. So if you are either of those guys, add me in game, message me on those two accounts, obviously not on a different account, and then we will get that bond over to you. Don't forget, watch this video, hit like, hit subscribe, all that lovely stuff. Hope you enjoy it. Adios.
Hey, how you doing? It is your boy the Gangly Goat, and here we are, ready to spend our green cash stack and go ahead and get a bond. Now, so far we've taken 5 episodes so far of the free-to-play to bond series to get to this green cash stack, and we're going to go ahead now and buy a bond. And this video is then going to take me 2 weeks, because I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks basically leveling up this account and making some money in the members world to show you on how you are able to maintain that bond so you never have to give jhgamingltd any money. Now, I want to make a slight disclaimer. I probably would do things a little bit different if I was building this account as an account to last. I probably wouldn't be breaking the money and becoming a member just yet. I would probably be upping my combat stats if I'm going to be doing that, so, so probably to at least 40 each, and potentially looking at some of these other skills as well, maybe getting my range up a little bit. But I've got a couple of ideas for when it comes to combat in a members. Now, anyone who's played RuneScape before will know that there's better ways to train up, especially these low level stats. You can go ahead and do the waterfall quest as a member and get these stats straight up to 30. So that's something that I could potentially do to get these stats up now, knock out a couple of quests, and it might be something that I consider. I've got a couple of ideas and a couple of plans, but the one thing I want to point you to is a link which is going to appear at some point in this intro in the top corner, and it's a video which I did where I take my my members account and I show you how you're able to make 6 mil every 2 weeks or more.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Or by just doing one skill, and that is farming. Now, I'm going to try and maybe do a little bit of farming in this as well, but it all depends on how I feel about a couple of quests, because realistically what I need to be doing is, for my farming, I want to be doing some herb runs. I want to get up to a level 38 so I can hit toad flags. Run weeds, yes, you can make money on, but it all depends on how many you're getting per patch, whereas with toad flags, because of the price of the seeds and stuff like that, it's not too bad. The return for me is a lot more consistent. So if you're new around here, do me a favour, smash that like button if you're liking the series so far. If you haven't checked out the series up to date, make sure you go back. There's a playlist on my channel. I'll maybe link it again somewhere in the video, so you can start from day dot and see exactly what I did along the way. And let's crack on with it.
1 hour later.
And there we go, completion of the Druidic Ritual quest. Literally took probably about, what, 4 or 5 minutes tops. Right, on to the next one. Go, Dwarf Cannon complete. Easy peasy. Right, stupidly forgot to get another mold, so I'm going to go get another cannonball mold so I can make some cannonballs as one of the money makers I'm going to be doing. Getting my smithing up and making some balls. And then here is the last of the cannonballs. we go. 8,000 cannonballs done now. And here we've got 6 more rings to go. So that means we've turned, in the first sort of 2-3 days of membership, we have done 8,000 cannonballs, and we've turned 5,000 rings, sapphire rings into rings of recall. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and get all of these sold, and then start preparing for the next little bit of a money maker that I'm going to try and that I'm going to do. And in the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit of combat thing as well. I'm going to head on over to the men above there with my bronze knives and get my range up to level 10 or 10, 15, and then head on over to the chaos druids and do something like that as well. But let's go and get these sold and move on to the next one. So we're coming up to the last of this batch of cannonballs. We did 2k steel bars, so 8k cannonballs first time around. And this time we've done 10k cannonballs, easy peasy. This is the last of the rings of recall. So the last of the sapphire rings that we are enchanting to rings of recall. Again, the first batch we did about 5k. Second batch we done around about 7.5, I think, off the top of my head. And here is the last one, and that's got us all the way from 7 or 8 magic up to 57. So that's a massive. So now we could be looking at doing some high alchemy potentially. Now we're at that fit over above 55 magic for high alch, and that's where you can make loads of money. Then we have a level 34 herbal. Means we are now able to make agility potions, which is toad flax. So what we can actually now do is make some toad flax potions, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing for my herbal. Now, in reality, what I'd like to do is I'd like to have got my farming up, and I would have liked to have done a couple of herb runs looking for toad flax to then make my own potions and not have to buy the toad flax. But either way, we're going to make money, but obviously farming them ourselves would have been a lot more profitable. So here we are down at the chaos druids, leveling up our range, just using some bronze knives, probably use some iron knives realistically, it should be, because they're a little bit better and I believe a little bit cheaper. But I'm just getting my range up, and what I'm probably going to do is probably only get to around about 30 range. But the beauty of these guys is they drop a whole load of herbs and stuff like that. Now it is fair, there is a risk, because edge of dungeon, this is the wilderness, we are level 2 wilderness, but for our low level there won't be a lot of people, and there is only 2 levels that we have to survive if we do get somebody coming in on us. But realistically there won't be a lot of people coming for us, because there's only herbs and stuff that we're getting out of it, so it's not beneficial to them. But I'm going to do this to around about level 30, and then I'm going to be finishing off the last couple of bits, which is some potion making and some rings, and then the next scene you'll see is probably me in a GE having sold everything, because I've got less than 24 hours left on my bond. So hopefully we can get back to that 10 mil green cash stack after 2 weeks of being in the memberships. So I will see you back at the GE. So here we have it, we are at the end of the series, the end of the free to play to bond. It's been an enjoyable one, it really has. Obviously I've sort of learnt a few things along the way as well, actually, which has been quite nice. But obviously the end of this episode here is where we bought the bond at the beginning of the episode. So we had a 10.3 mil cash stack, we bought the bond at the beginning of the episode. And then the target was to try and make enough money to buy another bond in 14 days. Now, I'd had a couple of setbacks because I was on holiday and ill for 4 days. So I had 4 days loss of sort of good time that I could have, probably a couple of hours a day over those 4 days where I could have been doing something to make a little bit of money. And in the reality, I'd have done things a little bit differently. If I had those 4 days, I probably would have gone and done a couple more quests. I would have gone and done the
Fairy Tale Part 1, Growing Pains quest. Got the Magical Secateurs. I'd have done some of the Troll quests, and potentially got another, maybe Herb Patch, potentially. But I would have been doing some farming. Now, there's nothing to stop me from buying another bond now and then getting on with it and getting it done. But obviously the whole point of this series was to show you ways to make some money in the members world, to then be able to continue progressing the account stat wise, so you can eventually achieve that max cape, but also pay for the membership along the way, so you don't have to pay for out your money. So let's have a quick look at the stats. These are fairly low stats, and like I said before at the beginning of the episode, I probably wouldn't have gone member if this was my actual account. I wouldn't have gone to a members world until I got some of these other stats up. But we were on 30 attack, 30 strength, 30 defense, 30 range. Nice solid little start, to be fair. 59 mage is a brilliant one, and that was from purely enchanting rings. So throughout this episode you'd have seen me enchanting sapphire rings into rings of recall, and that 59 magic is purely from there. I didn't touch rune crafting. Now, it's something I could have done. I could have touched rune crafting, but the sort of rune crafting is a bit of a funny one, so I wanted to steer clear of it. 33 HP, nothing to do with money making. 76 crafting, that's a huge stat, a huge skill there for money making, especially in the free-to-play world. Obviously making those rings in the free-to-play worlds and those free-to-play videos was vitally important to getting that green cash stack in the free-to-play. 35 mining, we started off doing a bit of mining early doors, but actually it's not the best skill for money. Yeah, mining clay is quite profitable, but obviously the XP rates are really low. Mining gold is profitable. Gem rocks, when you're mining gems, mining myth ore, that sort of stuff, adamant ore, that's when it becomes really profitable. And then basalts, they are ridiculously profitable, but in this series we were never going to get out to that level there. Did a bit of smithing, so we did bar making in free to play, and then in the members one you would have seen that we made a load of cannonballs, so that's a really profitable way. And if I had those 4 days, what I would have done is I would have done the quest to get me access to the Giant's Foundry. You know, I would have got access to the Giant's Foundry, however it's done, because in the Giant's Foundry there was a you can earn points or something, and then you can get yourself a cannonball mold which has got 8 slots. So I'd have been making 8 cannonballs, so I would have doubled my profit per hour for cannonballs. But because I lost those 4 days, I didn't really have time to be doing that sort of stuff. Fishing, I did plan on doing a little bit of fishing in the members, because I mean 67 fishing is quite a good number. You know, it's not a million miles away from shark, to be honest, and that was something I was kind of aiming for, but I'd sort of, again, 4 days lost. I probably wouldn't have gone there anyway, but it was originally a part of my plan. But it's a pretty good money maker. It's a very good AFK money maker if you're not looking to make loads and loads, because AFK swordfish and free to play, AFK lobsters in free to play is not fantastic money. Dark crab, brilliant money, but very high risk. Cooking, you can make money cooking, but we stay clear of that. Fire making, I mean realistically you can't make money fire making. I mean you can if you go winter tot, I suppose. And then wood cutting isn't really profitable. Well, it is profitable because obviously it's free, but isn't really a good money maker until you start getting to something like magic trees or redwood trees or whatever. Maple trees are worth absolutely, so maple logs are worth nothing, willow trees worth nothing, yew trees are worth a little bit, to be fair. But that's the big one, farming. That's the one that I would have loved to have done. One I missed because it's blanked out is herblore. So we did the druidic ritual quest and we got a herblore up because I was making some potions. Now you didn't see any footage of me making these potions, or the money making potions I should say, because I did it all in the last day or so. But what we'll do is we'll head on over to the GE. I'll show you some of the things that I sold and how I made the money. So we were doing obviously cannonballs, we were doing so the annoying thing is you can't go back as far as I would like. And the annoying thing is you can't go as far back as I'd like, but we were doing things like we were killing chaos druids with bronze knives, and we were getting all sorts of herbs and stuff like that. Somebody dropped a load of stuff in the GE, so it was like petulas and meat pie, some firelighters and stuff like that. So we were picking that up and selling that, because even though I'm not doing anything there to make money, it's still free money on the floor that I wouldn't turn down. But we were the main thing we were doing this episode was making rings of recall, so converting sapphire rings into rings of recall by enchanting them, and making steel bars, converting steel bars into cannonballs, and then this here, toad flax potions. So making toad flax potions. So what I was doing is I was buying grimy toad flax, cleaning them up, using them on a vial of water, and then selling toad flax potions for a profit of about 300 GP per one. So that's a really good money maker, and it would have been even more profitable had I had done the farming skill and actually did farming runs and herb runs and did my own toad flax, because actually the farming skill for toad flax you only need 38 farming, so that's a really low. Now you might look at that and go, oh, Ranarr weed's definitely going to be more profitable, because the weeds themselves are a lot more profitable. That isn't always the case. The Ranarr seeds are so much more expensive than toad flax seeds. With a toad flax seed, once you plant that, as long as it grows and doesn't die, you only need about 3 or 4 toad flaxes to make your money back on that one patch. If you use ultra compost, you're guaranteed at least 6, so you're always guaranteed, if it survives, you're guaranteed from that patch to be able to make at least 4 or 5k worth of profit just from the herbs themselves. So yes, there's a couple of things I would do differently, but I think overall I'm quite happy. So we started on 10.3 mil, and we end up on, I mean, if you look, technically the bank is worth 10 mil. The cash stack we have though is 9,999,035 GP. So technically we got back to a green cash stack. If I sold all of this stuff, I'd get to the 10 mil, so I'd have the green cash stack. I think all that's left to say is a massive thank you to everybody who's watched the series. If you've watched all the way through, then you are an absolute legend, and I massively appreciate and thank you for taking time out of your day to watch these videos. It's been an absolute pleasure to do them. It's been an absolute pleasure communicating and interacting with the community. And if there's anything that you want to see in the future, money making wise, RuneScape wise, please let me know down below in the comments. Well done to the winner, or winners I should say. Obviously there was a plan to give away 1 bond. My friend Teabag and Sniper,
Oh, friend!
who hosts a podcast with myself over on Spotify, said that he was going to give away a bond as well. So I picked 2 people out of all the people who commented throughout the videos, and me and Teabag and Sniper gave them a bond. Well, gave each of them a bond. So well done to the 2 winners, and I hope to see you in the next series. We're potentially looking at doing a hardcore Iron Man series with the lovely Teabag and Sniper as well. So, and maybe someone else, who knows. Thank you for watching. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you have too, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.